So this is another video on Analog Display Services Interface, or ADSI phones, screen phones. And this is a video in which I want to actually cover some real-world examples of ADSI applications, as opposed to just discussing the programming aspects of these phones, as I have been doing in previous videos. And so I have two Nortel ADSI phones here. Again, this is a 350 and this is a 390, which is a slightly newer model, and I'm going to use this one for the demo just because, as you can see, the screen on this is a little bit harder to read. It's more pixelated. This is a really nice, clean, clear display. And so with that, I'm just going to go through a few different things here that I've been able to get working over the past couple weeks. And so the first is the directory application in Asterisk. And by default, it's something like this.
Directory. Using your touchtone keypad, please enter the first 3 letters of the party's last name. For Q, use 7.
So,
Z,
say I was searching
9.
for John Smith, so I might enter S-M-I.
F-R-E-D space R-O-G-E-R-S. If this is correct, press 1. Otherwise, press star.
Okay, so that's not what I want.
E-E-V-E space R-O-G-E-R-S. If
Nope,
this is correct,
that's not
press
it either.
1. G-E-O.
So, as you can hear, I guess, this is a useful application, but it's not the easiest application to use if you're trying to use that to search for a directory. I mean, if you have some kind of company directory, it'd probably be easier to just get that out and leaf through the pages than trying to use this. So what I've done is I've made it slightly more useful by enabling ADSI support, at least for phones that are Type 3 capable. And so if I dial the ADSI capable version of the directory now, you'll hear the cows there.
Directory. Using your touchtone keypad, please enter the first 3 letters. F-R-E-D space R-O-G-E-R-S.
So the audio prompts are the same, but now notice that you get a visual component to this directory search as well, and I can press next.
S-T-E.
And now it's much easier, before Pat Fleet has finished reading out what the result is, you can see that it's not what you want, and just immediately go to the next option much more quickly than if you were...
K space S-M-I-T-H-E-R-S.
Okay, so it's gotten stuck
there. If this
there.
is correct, press 1.
Alright, let me try that again. I don't think it likes it if you go too quickly there.
Directory. F-R-E-D S-T-G-E-J-A.
But you can very quickly, at least in comparison, page through the directory options. It even tells you how many there are, until you get to the one you want. And then you can hit dial and it'll do whatever you want it to. And so that's my enhancement to the directory application there. Making it easier to use the directory application, especially if you have a screen phone that supports ADSI, like this one, where you can visually as well as audibly. But this is a good example, I think, of something where being able to visually do stuff is very useful, as opposed to just trying to listen for things and then use the DTMF options. Now, again, the soft keys here, while it's going through the directory stuff, are just mapped to the same options. I could have just used the DTMF keys as normal. But this way you don't have to remember, well, do you press 0, do you press pound, whatever. You see the options, and more importantly, you see the name spelled out at the top. So This was a relatively simple addition to make. Probably took about 15 minutes, and it really increases the utility of the directory application. Another thing that is more of a custom thing that is really still more of a proof of concept than anything, but it's sort of an interactive service type thing that is an amalgamation of different things that might have been common as a use case for this type of phone. So if I call that up here,
You have these options.
alright, and so we're presented with a menu of options, and we can actually go to the next page here, and there are some more
These
options.
options.
Now, not all of these options are actually set up to do something currently,
You have these options.
but I have set the weather option up. And so if you press that, it'll actually put up on the screen what the current weather conditions are like, and you can get a clear visual printout of what that is. And when it's done with that, it'll actually put on a NOAA weather radio report. Although it's not actually local to where this is. Okay, I'm gonna disable the speakerphone so I can talk on air. And it's not 94 degrees temperature-wise, it's actually referring to the wind direction. I probably should make that a little bit easier to parse and do the actual name for the direction instead of just the numbers. But you can clearly see it's just on the verge of freezing right now. A few clouds, no chance of rain tonight, 20% cloudy, 3 miles per hour. Sun came up about 7:30 and it's set at 4:30. So it's a lot of the same information, in fact, that I get on my Polycom IP phone microbrowser webpage for the weather report. In fact, you can see it's almost all the same information on there because it's pulling from the same source. But this is something that you manually get live, as opposed to that refreshes in the background. In theory, I could maybe do this with the resident service script as well, but I have not done that yet. And I'll go back on speakerphone here.
You have these options.
And so I think news is also working.
Blank checks for Ukraine. Augur Megan, Washington. Russia warns the increasing supply of U.S. arms to Ukraine will aggravate.
Yep, so the news is working, and it'll just play until you press back, and then you get back to this
You have these options.
main menu here. And I don't think that anything else is
You
actually
have these options.
set up to work. I will mention here that it might seem like these two menus could be loaded into the phone and then you could page back and forth
You have
between
these
them.
options.
And that is actually how it works for the primary resident
You have
script.
these options.
That works when the phone is on hook. But it's actually sending the
You have these options.
soft keys for the menu when you press the button each time. And it's actually fairly quick. I mean, it takes
You have
literally
these
about
options.
a second to do that, because it's not a whole lot of data. But it does have to do that each time because in the off-hook protocol with this kind of interactive session, you actually can't do that.
You have these options.
Alright, so that was that. The other thing that I'll finish out with here for now is, and actually I don't think I have the script on this phone now, but I could download it. So I'll do that. And this has some of the call waiting Deluxe soft keys on here. And what we can do here is actually demonstrate. Alright. So if I were to go ahead and I'm going to call that from this line here. Okay, so that call is up, and I can call it from another phone. And you can see that we get these call waiting deluxe options. So you get conference, hold, drop, announcement, and forward. So on this incoming call, I can now press conference, for example, and hello. I'm here, and I'm also here. So what I've done is just create a three-way conference call on an incoming call. Now, to be clear, this actually has nothing to do with this particular phone. It's not like the phone is in any way special here. It's literally just a convenient way of using this functionality. You could even do this with just a regular 2500 set like this if you just memorize the DTMF codes. And hang all that up. And that would also work. But this is supposed to give you a nice visual way. You don't have to remember any codes. You can just select the appropriate option. And in the full implementation, the screen should also update to show you who you're talking to and what options are available at any given time. I have not fully fleshed that out yet. I still have a lot of work to do on the ADSI scripting side of things. But this is an idea of course, the classic use case, the call waiting deluxe feature with this phone.